everyone. My name's Teresa Snyder, and wow, I guess it's like been a full moon or something this week because we've been having some challenges with technology. But Veronica, welcome. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Yay! So just give us all an idea of who you are and what you do. What is your passion?
Well, I'm founder of You Rise movement. When you clearly know who you are and what is very next for you, you rise above any obstacles and you step into your destiny.
Wow. So how did you get involved and start the You Rise movement? How did this all come about?
Well, I realized that the most important thing in life is clarity. I truly believe that clarity is, people say love and happiness can change the world. I truly believe that it's that clarity that can change the world. Because when you know who you are, you never have time for conflicts. And if you never have time for conflicts, there is going to be no conflict around you, and it's going to eradicate world wars, because I believe the clarity can eradicate world wars and eradicate global climate issues, because world wars, it's a climate react on our thoughts and beliefs. And if you are going to be in peace with yourself, and each of us going to be in peace with ourselves, the world wars will be eradicated and climate will react accordingly, and global climate will go away. And even though it sounds very out there, it's actually very quickly to do. All that you have to do is just start doing what is yours to do, comparing to what is not yours to do.
So how does someone find out? Thank you for that. And I really totally hear that, clarity is the answer. Just in general, clarity is the biggest part. What is it about people? Why do they struggle so much with finding clarity?
We all are wired for greatness, but we are programmed for failure.
Wow. Okay. So we are wired for greatness, programmed for failure. And where does that programming come from?
So between the age of 0 to 6, and I'm glad you asked that, Teresa, but between the age of 0 to 6, what we do, we basically download everything, just like our cell phones. We download everything. And once we download all of that, it goes to our subconscious, and that runs our life, just like programs runs.
I'm still here.
Oh, you're there. Okay, great.
Yes, I'm still here.
Programs, I don't see you there anymore. The programs are running our cell phones, right? Those programs running our lives. The difference is that we upgrade our cell phones once or twice a month, some of us even a week, but we not upgrade our subconscious mind. And that's what You Rise movement does for you. It allows you to see where you are, creates a deep clarity and a vision where you're going, and clears those programs that holding you back. One of my biggest gifts is there's 3 things that You Rise movement provides.
Okay.
It provides business advice. It provides clarity, which is different from goals. So you and I are meant to talk right now, right? That's a goal. Goals create accomplishments. Clarity, if that goal is aligned with your destiny, my destiny, then it's a goal, and that creates fulfillment. So clarity creates fulfillment. Goals create accomplishments, different. And the 4th part of it is I'm 4th generation intuitive. And I know I've seen a couple of your stuff. You are intuitive right now.
Yeah, say that one more time. What did you say?
I'm a 4th generation intuitive.
Oh, okay. 4th generation.
Yeah. So I know you've had a couple of people very similar to me. I've been watching your interviews since last few weeks. So you've had people who are like embodiment of 5D and things like that. My goal is to bring people from 3D to 5D. So and remove that programming from those dimensions to get them in a 5D, because you have to have a vision of yourself in order to get there. So that's my role in that big movement.
Okay, so this is interesting, very interesting. And thank you for that. And I like to put myself in the hot seat, and just say, okay, here's what's going on, in hopes that someone watching maybe they'll relate to it, or they'll find some answers for themselves. So someone that, for me, grew up mainstream and kind of did a traditional path for a long time. And then now I'm in this quandary state for this past year, this quandary, this self-discovery, this, wow, what am I going to do next? How do we find that clarity?
Well, first, the thing is that you are found, you just haven't discovered yourself.
Okay.
You
So
are
you have
found.
not discovered yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
Because your biggest gift is under your nose, right here, and you're not seeing it because because it comes to you natural. So it's funny now, but I didn't realize that not everyone can wave their hand. And by the way, you've noticed how our technical issues are gone, because I waved my hand, which I should have done half an hour ago. I wave my hand and the issues are gone, because I energetically protect it. For the next half an hour, you have 0 issues, or close to that. So not everybody can wave hand and change people's destiny. I thought everybody can. And so all of us have gifts and goals that we just don't know what they are. So it takes another pair of eyes. It takes a coach that you trust to find it. And there is there is a lot of people who say they can, but there is very few who can actually get that essence of you and help you to see that.
Oh, wow. And I just want to let the people know that are watching. So Carol, thank you. Johnny Pedroza says, hi, Veronica, very, very insightful. And it is. And that's the thing. It's like, okay, so it's right here. We can't see it. It's like I tell people that when there's a glass and you're the content inside the glass, you're not able to see everything from the perspective. Or like a picture frame. You're the person that's in the frame. You're not able to see the whole frame. And I know that I feel like I have we all have our intuition, right? And my question is, how do we know when and I'll just, again, use myself as an example, because that's the easiest way, and hopefully people will gain insight from it. How do you know, like for me, in a place right now, in a truly wide open space of what to do next?
So it will be a shameless plug. First of all, everybody, including you, Teresa, are invited to a free session with me. And in a half an hour, actually it's usually half an hour, but for your readers, I'll give an hour.
Okay.
And for your people who are watching, and for you too. Okay. And we'll figure that out together. So that's number one. Number two, very often it's there, but in our childhood, we've been told not to do that. Like I was told that I can't talk like that, prophesizing to people. I can't do many things. So it's shut down as a child because our parents trying to make us fit for society. It's easier for them to survive as well.
Yeah, so it's a survival mechanism.
It's a survival, but I want to bring few examples of what gifts looks like.
Okay.
So many years ago, 2 years ago, I went to that, and I talk about it often. Like I went to this cruise ship and spoke in front of Les Brown and had 14 opportunities to speak after that. Like that's a beautiful story that I share. And it's a true story. But what I don't share is the day before, I was literally sitting where I'm sitting today, like a week prior. My girlfriend came. She lives half time in Ukraine and half time in US. She came and I said, Victoria, I'm so sorry. I have to work from 10 to 5 today. It's cold day in San Diego, cold day.
San Diego.
Meaning that I cannot send her to the pool or the beach, and she has a flu.
Okay.
And so, meaning that she has to do something indoors for that much hours. I said, so what would you like to do? And I'm so sorry. And she is afraid to take my car, so I have to drive her somewhere. And And she looked at me completely unapologetic. She's like, are you kidding me? I'm going to North Saks Avenue off and buying you a new wardrobe. You're not planning to go to that cruise ship like that, are you?
Okay.
And I said, okay, great, thank you. You know, I have a very short budget. She's like, yeah, $300. I have $2,000 worth of wardrobe in $300. And well, I said, okay, you want to do it, fine. It makes you something to do. I am busy, great. I come back. I literally had clothes, and I've gained weight, so I didn't feel. And you've seen me. I look good, but like I've gained weight. You've seen me a couple of times.
Yes.
You know
Yes,
what
we have met in person. Yes. And just to kind of catch people up, is that just so people, the viewers that are watching, I want you to hold that just 1 second, is that Veronica and I met in San Diego back in probably February of this year, or late January, February of this year. And I knew there was something. And then Mikey Adam Cohen has just praised, and Jeremiah Knight, they just send you such amazing, those are good endorsements. Those, when you're getting good endorsements from others, especially when we're talking about, instinctual thinking and all this. Okay, so you're getting ready for the cruise. You have all this brand new clothes from your friend who's over here from Ukraine.
But that's what I want to explain to you about my friend. So I go and I've gained weight, so I didn't feel comfortable. I've lost that mojo of mine, right? And she knew me from the age of 15, so she knows what my mojo looks like.
Okay.
So literally, I go and the clothes that I would never think of wearing looks completely hot on me.
Okay, cool. So fun.
So the reason I'm bringing it, so I got it all, and I say, and Victoria was in a quandary like you. She used to be former model, she used to be former lawyer, and now she needs something new, and preferably in the United States. And she outgrew her country. And so I tell her, I say, well, you are a stylist. You are born to be a stylist. Just start business there and let me help you. I'm going on a cruise. I had an opportunity here to take with me as an assistant for the guy. I said, go with me. You'll get everything. And here's what happened. She says to me, she says, who in the world will buy my services? Who in the world needs that? Because it comes to her so naturally.
Mm-hmm.
That, and I didn't know anything about brand names, and it was one of those things where, how sometimes where we're going, we like, and you've seen me, like you actually seen me in all these clothes. I have no idea what brand name it is, and I never do. Like, I'm waiting for her to come back to the United States and buy me the new.
That's so funny.
It's amazing what she does. And she says, but nobody ever gonna buy my services. Who needs that? And that's what usually holding people back. That's why I share that story, because people think that everybody can do it. And then she was too afraid to go to the cruise ship. Because when you are ready, opportunity is there. When you think you're ready, you are late. So she missed that opportunity, went back to Ukraine. I called her back a few months later and I say, how are you doing? She's like, I'm taking a course on being a stylist.
Wow.
I love that story because I knew, like, anybody who is around me, like Jeremiah never been my client, or Mikey never been my client. And like my clients talk like that, I got used to it, but like they feel it because like I gave free session to Jeremiah and Jeremiah's business started booming.
Wow.
So it starts with taking opportunities blind faith. It starts with believing that maybe what you do is possible. And just keep going.
Wow.
And put yourself out there. Just put yourself out there and talk about it. Like, maybe if I wouldn't post that a vulnerable post of how I was unemployed to speaking on 14 stages, you might not even book me today. Because it was a very vulnerable post and about what really happened. So it's a combination of kind of surrender to God what you want to do, mm-hmm. and go on a blind faith for a while, because it's not going to be evident. And trust people who tell you are good.
Wow. That is so good. Because a lot of times I find that we self-doubt ourselves.
Oh, all the time.
The 80,000 thoughts we have every single day, or however many, and that they often are repeated. And those repeated thoughts are just some of those same self-sabotaging. And so I love that you said just go on blind faith, try some things out, and see what happens.
Well, have a strategy. I believe, and you know Joe Ortega as well. Like, he's a brilliant guy who's 24-year-old, made his first million when he was 22. Brilliant guy, huge fan of his. And he taught me one thing. If he put something in my brain for the rest of my life, he says, Veronica, massive strategic actions. So if you want to go, make massive strategic actions. And I've never seen anybody who can do massive actions the way he does. It's kind of crazy. And it's interesting because anytime I ever do anything with him, he says, Veronica, we're going to do that today. I said, impossible. He says, Veronica, you have 15 minutes.
Wow. But it's massive action, massive strategy.
So you have a strategy and then you have massive action. Because if you just have massive actions, it's not going to work. But if you have strategic massive actions, that works. And I'll be an example of that. I told my father and many other people who still don't believe in me, well, less than before, that I said in 2012, I said, I'm going to create an empire of transformation for generations to come.
Mm-hmm.
And I will coach owners of multi-million-dollar companies. By 2017, I've had 4 or 5 owners of multi-million-dollar companies who've been my clients. They were my first clients. And then I said to Allison Larson that I'll be on stages. I was going through 6 or 7 for my last unemployment. Allison Larson was on a big stage, and a year later, I say 2 years, but I actually was a year later, not 2 years. It was year and 2 months later when I was on this cruise ship. And she's like, oh my God, but you are that girl who told me that. And I mean, she hears a lot of things. She's on the big stages all the time. Yeah. And she's like, okay. And she helped me with that stuff. But it was my vision, my goal to be on 10 stages. So it ended up being 14 in 3 months, because somebody says, I'm going to put you on that stage if you're going to be after your 10 stages. I said, no problem. And I ended up doing it with 0 budget, by the way. I had 0 budget for that.
Wow. So how did you do that?
How I do that? Simply, you have a goal.
Yes.
You have a goal. So you have to be very clear. Like I call it Amazon clear. So you can't tell Amazon, I like pink shirt. You have to say SKU number, a size, and so forth. It has to be very specific. And once you say that and you say your prayer, you stop thinking about it. Because in order to send it to universe and God, you have to stop thinking about it. You have to let it go. Most of us cannot let it go. You have to let it go. And once you let it go, you start doing all the actions that you can to make it happen. So let's talk about speaking, right?
Okay.
So it doesn't matter what we take. We can take speaking or me having 11,000 people on Instagram. It doesn't matter. I've done it over and over.
Wow.
I've done it with millionaires. I've done it with speaking opportunities. I've done it with being from 300. I went to 11,000. I think I spent $600 on the whole process. Yeah. So how I do that? So you surround, and then you create, you do actions. So for me, I start taking speaking courses. I start removing all the energy that says that, well, I have an accent, of who am I, and do I have a message, and blah, 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 blah. So I removed all of this stuff. I start taking actions, and I start looking for clients on the speaking events all the time. But I would go for speaking events all the time. So I picked up all that knowledge. So even though I felt that I was not ready, because I spoke first time in front of Les Brown, so you understand.
Yes. Yes.
Not that Les Brown spoke when I saw him. It was the other way around.
Yes. And I love that. And congratulations. And that's
it's crazy. That's how it happened. And I prayed to God 3 weeks prior, and I said, I think it's time for me to meet Les Brown in person. I meant on a big stadium, okay? The one that I missed 2 years prior because I was working 90 hours. And just believe. And so the way you water your seed, you're believing in it. You're believing in it. And nothing happens overnight. it always happens as a bamboo, like I have a bamboo, I'll share it with you.
Okay.
So it happens as a bamboo, you have to water your seeds with your faith. So because people are gonna tell you that it's impossible, people are gonna reject you. So I decided that I'm gonna be speaking first time in front of this guy who created an event. I won't say his name, he's a dear friend of mine, and I won't say the name of the event. And my goal was to become on the stage by September. September comes, this guy calls and says, I don't know why, but let's connect. And you know what? I am going to do this event again. And you know what? I'm going to put you on stage. It was Friday. But let's meet on Monday. I'm going to be to that, wherever he was going. He comes back from that event he went. He says, this big guru told me that I'm not going to do that event. And so please don't mention speaking for next 6 months.
Okay.
But I've learned that when it comes to your goal God says yes, I'm gonna give it, and then sometimes he says not now, meaning that you have to learn more things to be there. So I knew that was my not now. And then the last one, he says, I give you something better in mind, meaning that he's going to take away everything that you ever knew, what happens to you, everything that you ever knew about yourself, it takes away, and then he gives you something better. And then overnight, I end up speaking in front of Les Brown. Boom, that's your bamboo.
Wow. Ta-da!
Yeah.
I love it.
So, bamboo. So what people don't know about bamboo, and actually Les Brown talks about that. I might even pick up from him, might intuitively pick up, I don't even know. He talks about how bamboo takes 3 to 5 years to grow in a seed and nothing happens. And then one day, bamboo happens. But all this overnight sensation that we see, it takes them 16, 20 years of being overnight.
Yes.
Nothing happens overnight. So you need to water your goals. You know how many people told me that I will never make money on my intuitive gifts, or I'll never be a big speaker, or whatever people tell me now. You know what I say to them? I don't even yell. I look at them, I smile, and I say, watch me.
It's like,
I don't even do that. I said, watch me. And it's funny that people who know me, have seen me in a while, they say, and they like, people like they know where I'm going, and it's gonna be people who gonna be jealous when you get there. When I went on that cruise ship, favor aren't fear, people. When you get favor from God, when you get your results, it's gonna be people who are gonna be jealous. I have a girl who's been jealous because it wasn't fair. She's the one who introduced me to the guy, and I ended up going on the cruise ship.
Wow.
But people who knew me through my 6 unemployments, through everything I went through, people who knew my story and show that and seen my story, they're like, look at you, you did exactly.
Yes.
You got exactly what you asked for.
Yes.
So it's always going to be people who don't understand you. It's going to be people who hate you. It's people who don't believe in you, and that's okay. They are just here to strengthen your belief and faith. That's all what they're there for.
That is so good. So good. So much juicy stuff. I'm really just listening because there's so much like really dynamite that people can have. It's just faith, putting faith into the right strategy with massive action, but then there's faith in there too. So as we kind of close up the broadcast, because of course it's like goes really fast, is what would you like to say in closing? Like if someone was to catch this broadcast now, what is that piece of wisdom that you want to leave us all with?
So here's what I share with you is I'll share with you actually something personal. So my name is Veronica. You guys can see that.
Yes.
Vera in Russian literally means faith.
Ooh, wow.
So faith on its own doesn't help you. It doesn't. But Nika in Greek means victory. Faith in victory gets you anywhere. So it's not enough to believe in yourself, but believe in your personal victory. And here's what I want to add to that. My Hebrew name is Braha, which means blessing.
Okay.
It's when you have a victory in your own faith, it's when then God is ready to bless you. Then your blessing comes. Then it comes that state of flow that we're describing so often.
Wow.
The flow comes when you truly believe in your victory. By the way, you might be on your, what I haven't shared, when I end up to cruise ship, I had a $50 to my name.
Wow.
Because I just lost $18,000 package. Unfairly lost. There is no, like, very unfairly lost. And so many other things happens, but it's your belief in yourself creates that flow.
Yes,
And
because I would imagine that a big question that would come up, and I know that most people would say, well, if you only have $50, why would you choose to go on a cruise ship? Isn't that irresponsible?
Well, first of all, cruise ship was already paid, but cruise ship was free. It was an exchange of services.
Yes.
I've already prepaid for everything. $50, it was all what was in my pocket after all my expenses.
Yes, okay.
It's irresponsible. It's irresponsible when you don't know what you want. But if you know that your goal to become a speaker and you understand that here's another big drop of wisdom. Your breakthrough happens after breakdown.
Yes.
So when you understand that I left the cruise ship with 2 or 3 clients. And the woman who may put me on 14 stages and with a lot of other opportunities after that.
Wow. Very good.
Because people who were on a cruise ship, they were a big deal. So for the rest of the year, I would go to these big events and the biggest big deals would say hi to me.
Yes.
So, and I said that I coach owners of multimillion-dollar companies, which was very coherent together. How do you think it's all happened? So it's a deeply, like I said, my girlfriend could go with me and have her business as well, but she chose not to.
Yes.
Which she regrets today, going back to Ukraine. But what I'm trying to say is that you have to believe in yourself, and responsibility is your biggest responsibility in life is fulfill your destiny. So if that's aligned with your destiny, then the money will show up. If you believe in yourself, you believe in your services, money will show up.
Yes.
And faith is not dwelling on yesterday, and it's not dwelling on tomorrow. Faith is being present. This is a new definition of faith. Faith is being present. So when you truly believe in yourself, you're going to be present right now. And if you've ever been in sports or anything, the only way to succeed is just being present in a second and do your best in a second. That's the only way Olympic champions are trained. I'm a certified chef, like to finish that stuff as a chef. That's the only way you can do that.
Yes. Wow. That is so good. Well,
for all of you guys, I'm sorry. What I want to share is that you guys are welcome to sign up for clarity sessions. So just comment below, and I'll reply to you. And if you want to learn more about me and I probably say what you were about to say. If you want to learn more about me, you can go to www.yourise.today. So you rise today. You rise that today. Yeah.
That is amazing. And then the final question is, Veronica, what would you like to be acknowledged for?
I'll say something bold today. So there is this, I have a sales training person. And he said, Veronica, you have to be sexy. And he's the last person who ever told me that. He's happily married person, younger than me. And he's like, so I knew it's not coming from that perspective. And I'm like, he's like, yeah, let's go and make you a sexy photo shoot. I'm like, what you've been smoking today?
Wow. Wow.
So
Wow.
I acknowledge myself for the fact that my wisdom and my unconventional wisdom is sexy.
There you go. I love it. So Veronica, I want to acknowledge you for your wisdom, your intellect, your gifts, your talents, all of those things, and that they're sexy and you are sexy.
Thank you.
Yay. Thank you so much for being here today. It was so great. And all of you. My name is Teresa Snyder. I'm in Amarillo, Texas today. Veronica Rozenfeld is in San Diego, I believe, today. Yes. All right. Talk to you
It was
all.
very nice to be here, and it's always nice to see you and inspire. And I can tell you from my, if you like, I'll be happy to give you a session. But from what I see in you, you have a gift. If it's okay, I'll share what I see for a second. I know we're closing.
Oh, sure. Sure. Well, I was going to take it offline, but if you want to do it live, do it live.
Yeah, let's do it live.
Okay.
So you have a strong charisma to be on stages. You have a strong charisma. I won't share anything personal. Personal will take off. I have you have a strong charisma, and I think you meant to lead a lot of women into the empowerment, and you going through your own empowerment journey, so you can take a lot of women in. And I think you're in a place of more trusting your own intuitive guidance and your own intuition and your own power, so you can bring it more in. But I think your gift is to be on stage. You have a gift of entertainer, that's for sure. Like I don't. I have a wisdom and stuff, but entertainment is, I don't know, maybe it's coming, but it's not naturally coming to me. So for you, you are a big entertainer. And I think once you tap into that entertainment piece of yourself, then your coaching and your speaking and everything gonna come from a whole different place. Like, but you can come from that place of entertainment. That's why it's keep interviews. Like, you're great at interviews. You have that big media personality, and I think once you completely own that piece of yourself, then the flow shows up.
Awesome. Thank you. Wow. Thank you. Wow. All right, guys, we will see you again soon. And Veronica, if you'll hold on for just a second, I'm going to close this out.